And like he's and of course the same thing. Like we're going to get into this too. I actually this is a good segue.
Right.
Of course, it like got back to him,
Right.
probably secondhand information.
Right.
Right. So basically, it's like the exact same thing with Cornette.
Right.
Did you see these tweets?
No.
From Cornette.
No.
Oh, okay. Well. So
that would have been your topic, Joe. But go ahead.
Okay.
I thought you wanted like news, not like wrestling.
Anything Twitter. I told you, bro. I said it.
Okay.
Anything in wrestling or anything pop culture or anything in the news. Anything that's.
Well, you see that I brought up the Del Rio thing. So I'm.
Here's how
you
it
might
went.
get buried more on the show.
So here's how it went. Okay, and I'll basically. So So remember the clip that we talked about the Ring of Honor guys that are difficult to deal with,
right?
Okay, and like I was just pontificating on my theory. I wonder why that's maybe with them working Cornette they became very combative, but like like Aries. Who we say it was? We said Aries.
Aries, Kevin Owens,
Kevin Owens,
Sami
Zayn, and we threw Punk in there, but I don't think I've never heard of any interaction with Punk and Cornette, but I've heard Cornette upset about like these other guys, right?
Just go. The topic was originally about Austin Aries, and that's where it spun off. But I said CM Punk.
You said CM, yeah, okay.
Because we were
so this guy tweets at Cornette. So here's the thing. So this guy tweets at Cornette. At the Jim Cornette, did you know Disco Inferno is trying to say you and CM Punk had heat with each other in Ring of Honor, despite timelines, and he puts in capital letters, literally saying you were never in the same place as Punk at the same time. SMH. I'm like, okay, so this guy obviously got a misinterpretation of what I said. So Cornette says, people try to leech views off my name, never let facts get in the way. Okay? So I responded to it and said, yeah, that was a complete misrepresentation of what I said, but then I quote tweeted it, and I said, in the quote tweet, maybe get the facts of what I said first instead of using a tweet from a mentally disturbed fan as a fact. Okay? Because this is his cult people that are just, they're nuts, right?
Yeah, he is.
So then Cornette just tweets, okay, they say he still hasn't listened to the clip, I imagine. Okay, because this whole thing, this wouldn't even be a response if he just would have, if this guy would not have misrepresented what I said, Cornette might have been agreed with what I said because we were talking about his relationship with those guys and how he's always had problems with them, right? So I wasn't even knocking Cornette at all or anything.
Right.
So then he puts, well, you're a Russo stooge. Let's go over these one by one, right?
Right.
Okay, well, you're a Russo stooge / apologist.
Right.
Okay, debatable. I just do a podcast, but I'm not a stooge by any stretch of imagination.
But you are about an apologist, but go ahead.
A joke as a wrestler.
Right.
Okay,
not true.
You could look right. A laughing stock that the boys verbally on as an agent. I'd like to point out that
I don't remember that.
I'd like to point out that Sanjay Dutt, who now was employed by the WWE, said that I was the best agent he worked with.
Yeah, okay. Chris Daniels has had kind words for you as well as an agent.
Did he really?
I didn't think you were that good, though.
He said it in one of the drops. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I thought as far as agenting, like actual agenting, you weren't that good. But go ahead.
Okay. Makes Tony Khan's booking ideas look like Eddie Graham's. Bro, he still thinks that when I told him these stories. Okay, no, bro. I remember exactly where I was when I sat down. Was talking with Cornette. We were in that green room at TNA, right, and at the Universal. And I remember I told him my book like the stories that have been like over the years. I told him the thing about how we like were joking in the booking meeting room. How about a picture of an empty locker? And then 30 seconds later said, coming soon, the Invisible Man. And talked about how we joked about that. It never went on the show, but that was his joke. And we talked about the Martian invasion.
But you also have to remember one thing about Jim. He's a master at what he does. And what he does is he'll extrapolate whatever he can use that you tell him as shtick.
Right, absolutely.
And that's what he's probably doing, bro. He's the best at it.
Absolutely. So, bro, the guy loves...
Whether it was a joke or not, you gave him material. For the rest, if you know what I'm saying, that's all you do.
And the thing too, the guy loves to cut promos on other people.
Right.
Like he could, like anybody, like this tweet said, "Oh,
there's no way." I don't think. I don't know how much Jim knows you, but I don't think there's any way he thinks that was actually true. But he probably
he does.
says
No. He has actually absolutely said it before.
that he
And
thinks
here's one point I want to make.
I've actually
This is Cornette. If I was being serious and presenting an idea to you that included a CGI special effect that had antenna popping out of Mike Tenay's head, like if you thought that I was actually serious presenting that, then you're being a mark for believing I would actually present that to another professional wrestling.
Well, in all fairness,
as a serious angle,
but he doesn't know you. He doesn't know, so he doesn't know.
Until now, I've heard him say on his podcast before when someone would send in a question, and I think they would send in a question trying to get him to bury you, that kind of thing. He would
I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah. Some of the smartest guys, because guys think that they're real smart because they're a draw. Okay, you may have figured out a way to be a draw, but that doesn't mean that you know how to be creative in other aspects. I've had people that are successful draws give me like ideas for angles, and I'm like, bro, are you serious what you just said? And they're like, yeah. And I go, come on, really? Are you really serious? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what an idiot, you know? And so I took it as whatever they were telling me was the truth. He doesn't know you. He might have thought, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This guy is a
Let me finish some of the other things, okay? Because he thought that was his, and just for the record, anybody's listening to my, and I've explained the story to him just like I explained to everybody else. So it was not; those were not serious booking things, okay?
Right.
So next, you're an anti-vaccine nut.
Would
you consider me? I've gotten vaccinated. What am I actually promoting?
Right.
Get vaccinated.
Right. I want everyone to get vaccinated so everything can open up.
And probably a Trump effing Republican. So that's
what does that have? First of all,
he hates Trump. Yeah, he hates Republicans. He can't stand road.
You'll pop on this. You know how? Have you met Don Fry before, right or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you know he's definitely has an old grizzled, you know, hey, how you doing, dude? Hey, like that, right? And he's got those big like construction hands, like a guy that's been working on construction for years and years and years. And we were talking all of a sudden, just in the thing, he goes, I love Trump. I miss Trump, like that.
So as and a Trump effing. Okay, so there's the facts, ma'am. So once again, he's got a lot of his facts distorted here and stuff. But he didn't get. But this thing, he just cuts promos and people respond and they love it and stuff. And he didn't even have to. It doesn't even matter, you know.
Right.
But I thought this was funny. My final response was, I quote tweeted him and said, "Keeping 100 drops Thursday on MLW Radio and Spreaker."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, that he's been misinformed, and you know, if somebody, you know, you're always.
And it's the last thing I want to do is. Here's the thing too. He's the last guy you want to get like a Twitter war with, or because he'll just cut promos on you, you know, and everything. So and this wasn't even like I didn't initiate anything.
Well, here's the funny part: you actually listen to his show, and
I listen to his clips sometimes. Yeah,
with most of his views. But there's nothing. But bro, here's the other thing. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. Just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you don't like that person. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't like that promotion.
Right. You know, he doesn't listen to this. I don't think he listens to anything else or any other podcast, but he doesn't listen to this. He would know that I'm not definitely not like far off on the way he thinks. So, but that was that. So it was just another somebody responding to misinformation, and all his fans are all happy.
I like Jim.
Yeah, but let me say real quick that in that conversation, we were just going over guys who had been known to have been difficult or really picky when it comes to their stuff. And I said CM Punk because we were mentioning Ring of Honor guys. We never mentioned, it wasn't specifically like these guys had heat with Jim Cornette. We were just mentioning Ring of Honor guys. Mm-hmm. And for this guy on Twitter supposedly saying they've never even been in the same place. They did work the same Ring of Honor show together at one point. Maybe Cornette doesn't remember it. You know, sometimes guys don't remember that if they only encountered somebody once. But like how Conan doesn't remember Shane Hagedorn. But
why would I?
Why don't you ask the what you call it, historians?
The Ring of Honor.
Yeah, you got a whole you got a whole perfect source right there.
Let's find this out right now.
Yeah, but that was that. So I thought that was
I didn't see any of that, but
it's on Twitter. Yeah, it's on Twitter right now.
Yeah. Keep burying him, Jim. We need to start having some of our troll accounts.
Right? Yeah, I want to see my fake troll accounts argue with the Cult of Cornette trolls.
Bring them back.
That'd be
They've been.
bored, yeah.
You guys have been sleeping way too long. All right. What do you want to start off with here?
We'll do the intro.
Right.
We'll get right into the UFC talk, and then we'll do the letters. How's that sound?
All right.
Do we guys want to talk about? I want to talk about UFC.
Yeah.
Boom. Hold on.
That was a great show.
I said Ring of Honor question. Were were Jim Cornette and CM Punk ever on the same card? And Hagedorn goes, All-Star Show 2, 3rd anniversary party. So there's just 2 of them. I had to know it right away.
Ring of Honor story is on the money again.
On the money.
For the Ring
Midnight
of Honor
Express
story.
reunion. Midnight Express reunion 2. 3 shows together. That's phenomenal. I'm gonna enter this Twitter battle now.
Let me see. Where are we? What show? This, Joe?